This right here is an 18 to 55 millimeter lens. Today I'm going to tell you why it doesn't suck. Today you always hear about people saying they can't take great photos or make cool videos because they don't have the newest piece of gear, the right camera body, or the right lens. Well, that's just total bullshit and people are making up excuses. There's a good chance if you're watching this video you already have an 18 to 55 millimeter and it probably came with your camera as its kit lens. Today I'm going to go out and just take a ton of different photos and videos with the 18 to 55 and show you the variety you can get with it. I want to take some shots out in the forest I'm in right now just to show you kind of the results you can get here. And I also want to head to Portland and get some photos there. So I think this will be a good chance to see the variety you can get with the lens and some of the B-roll you can get with it as well. A huge pro to an 18 to 55 millimeter lens is the range you're getting with it. So shooting at 18 millimeters for this shot right here gives you a fairly wide shot, and it's really great for landscapes especially. So it's super nice having that wide shot, and you also get a decent telephoto with the 55 millimeters. So that range is super helpful, and it gives you a wide variety when shooting throughout the day. And then there's the picture quality of the lens itself. This lens is capable of taking great pictures, and you don't have to worry too much about the quality. If you're shooting in RAW with the right settings, you have nothing to worry about. Another huge benefit is the fact that it's image stabilized. That actually makes a huge difference. If you take a look at this shot here with no image stabilization, it's really shaky, and if you look at the one with image stabilization, it does a lot. This lens isn't perfect. I think you have to acknowledge that it isn't great for low light. It only goes to f3.5, and that's not the best. It's not bad though. But for low light, this definitely is not a lens I use very often. And the same goes with bokeh. This camera doesn't get the best bokeh. 3.5 can do pretty good, but I would say you should go with a different lens if you're looking to take, say, portraits with really shallow depth of field, or if you're going for very cinematic shallow depth of field videos. This probably isn't your lens if you're looking for that. But that's enough just talking about the lens. Let's go out and take some photos. Okay, so I'm done with the shoot out in the forest. So here are some of the photos I took. As you can see, these are pretty good photos. I wouldn't say they're the best photos ever, but as you can see, there's nothing really holding these photos back because of the lens specifically. Here are a few things to keep in mind when shooting with an 18 to 55 to really get the most out of the lens, and a lot of these will apply to other lenses you have as well. To really get the most out of the lens itself, you have to have the right settings. Since it's not the fanciest lens, just having the right settings will ensure that you're getting the best results out of the lens itself. It's really not the lens that's going to hold you back that much. It's going to be having the incorrect settings or not knowing how to shoot a specific photo with the lens itself. The same goes for when you're taking videos with the lens. It really doesn't hold you back much. It's just making sure you have the correct settings so your shot looks good. A real quick tip is to have an ND filter. I feel like I've talked about this in like my last 5 videos, but seriously, an ND filter when you're shooting outside has helped me so much. When I was shooting out here already, it was too bright, and for this shot right here, I'm using an ND filter, or otherwise my forehead would look even more shiny. So get an ND filter, slap it on this lens, and you're gonna be good. And so the last thing would be composing your photos correctly. So while this isn't super specific to the 18 to 55 millimeter, if you're just having the right exposure and you have your settings all set correctly, and you already know how to compose your photo, you're going to get great results out of the lens. So with photography or filmmaking, it's really about getting out more and just making more photos and videos, and that's the main way you're going to improve with them. So while there are a few things you can do with an 18 to 55 to get better results, you're really going to see the best improvement when you're getting out and trying photos with it. So now that I got all the photos I wanted to get out here, I think I want to head up to Portland because the leaves are starting to change a lot in Portland, but not so much here. It's still pretty green where I live. But I think it'd be really cool to get a far off shot of the city itself with the leaves changing and Mount Hood in the background. So let's go ahead and head there now. Okay, so I just got done at Pig Mansion, and I got a few photos that I really like. It's super important, and probably one of the biggest tips when taking photos with this lens is knowing what you want in the first place. So I knew I was going to go up here and try to get that nice landscape shot. So I knew I wanted a full-on wide shot with the 18mm. I shot at f11 and I had an ND filter on so it wasn't too bright. I think it was a perfect day to go out and take photos there, and I'm really happy with the results. So now that I got those shots, I'm going to head downtown Portland and just grab a few shots there and see if there's just anything interesting. And then I'll head home, edit the photos, and then just take a look at what I got. Alright, so I just got back from Portland, and here are the photos I took downtown. I don't think any of these turned out that great. I think they're good photos, but I just didn't really like the setting in general. But I wanted to take a look at my top 5 photos from today, and here are my top 5. I think these all turned out really well, and I like the results I got. Now keep in mind I did edit these photos. I think editing is a huge part to making your photos look way better anyway. So, you know, I suggest you edit your photos. But I think these 5 turned out super well, and I'm happy with the results. Hopefully this video helped you make a decision about the 18-55, and you can at least see that the lens doesn't suck. That's about all I have to say about the lens. Just go out and shoot with it if you have it. It's definitely a good option, and if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I post weekly videos on filmmaking and photography, and if you do want to see some behind the scenes videos or some of the photography I've been taking, go ahead and check out my Instagram at @theJacobBunn. And I'll see you guys next week.